Hey, it's LSF here today, and today we're here to look at the Canadian sales of September and third quarter, and also the US sales for September and third quarter as well. So let's have a look. So this is Toyota Canada's release of this press release. So it says record-setting electrified vehicles representing 47% of overall sales in the third quarter, and 5,644 zero-emission vehicles sold in Q3. 21,354 units sold in September, and that's up almost 30% year over year. So let's continue down and see what they say here. So they're saying that the electrified vehicles continue to grow in September for Toyota Canada, representing 47% of overall sales. Both divisions, Toyota and Lexus, are recording September records for electrified vehicles as well. So when you look at electrified vehicles, you know that it's hybrid, plug-in hybrids, and BEVs, and also fuel cell. So when you look at here, it says electrified vehicles is 45% in Toyota, and there's record September sales for the RAV4 hybrid. That's up 205.9%. That's extremely high. The RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid up 450.9%. That's a big number there. And the Corolla hybrid is up 855.7%. All those numbers are great, but we don't know what the numbers are. We only know the percentages. And then when you look at the electrified vehicles for Lexus, that's high, 61.8%. And that's for September. And when you look at it, the NX hybrid is up 26.5%. That seems a little bit low compared to the RAV4 hybrid. 26.5 compared to 200%. The NX plug-in hybrid up 39.6%, and that's still, again, very low compared to the RAV4 Prime. The RX hybrid is up 203.9%, which is still great. So the total 5,644 zero-emission vehicles, that is EVs, plug-in hybrids, and fuel cells. So hybrids are not zero emission. So when you look at here, the third quarter, they sold 2,144 zero-emission vehicles in September. All right, so let's look at the overall September. So Toyota Canada sold 21,354, and that's up almost 30% in September. The Toyota division, 18,776 units, and that's up 31%. And the Lexus division, 2,578, and that's up 19.7%. Lexus have been doing very well in Canada for the full year, but I think they fell short in breaking the record in September. But let's continue down and let's go back to the spreadsheet after that. So when you look at it, impressive Q3, and they still have inventory challenges. That's what they're saying. So Toyota Canada sold 60,943 vehicles, and that's up 20.4% in their third quarter. And Lexus had a very strong first half of the year, and Q3 was also strong, 7,825 units, and that's up 22.2% from Q3 of last year. And the Toyota division sold 53,118 units, and that's also up 20% in the third quarter. So overall, Canada, Toyota, and Lexus, they've been doing very well in 2023. All right, they continue to say that anything that were sold made in Canada are actually selling very well. And you can see that the RAV4 is up 28.5%, and that's led by the record September sales of the RAV4 hybrid, and also the Canadian-made RX NX also saw strong September sales, both led by record sales of their respective electrified versions. So the hybrids are all record selling. Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX 450 Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can also reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, and share it with your friends. This definitely will help me with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, which is greatly appreciated. And now let's continue with the video. Alright, so let's move over to the spreadsheet. I don't have much of the breakdown by model in Canada because they don't release them anymore. That's quite unfortunate, but at least we can get a sense of Are they doing better or not? Let's move over to there. Alright, so now we're in the spreadsheet for Lexus Canada, and good news, I do have all the breakdowns up to August, so I don't have the September numbers, but at least it gets you a better view of the 2023 model year. So you can see here the UX, it hasn't broke any major records, but in July it actually did break the record of whatever they sold, and August gone back down. So it's a little bit off, but I think it's actually not too bad for UX here. IS on the other end, it's just cruising along. And you look at it, 1401, I think they're going to reach last year's numbers as well. Good thing is you can see go back into the UX, up to August, they sold more UXs than last year already. So I think we're going to see around the 2,000-ish numbers for the UX. And then when we look into the ES, it's really going down badly. You can see August was only 97 units, and every single month of this year hasn't really been a good year. So overall, ES is waiting for really a refresh. LS 22 up to August, so I think that it's again a low selling volume car. Surprisingly, you got a few units sold, so I think it's surviving. It's not going well, but it's still selling, and it's not like 0 units are sold in a few months. LC on the other hand is the same thing, 110. It seems to be okay. It's not the best year, but definitely still selling like the LS. RC 64, that seems extremely low. I'll be surprised if they even break the 100 number this year. Alright, now moving back to the NX up here. NX have been making record sales except for July. July seems to be hard for them. They weren't able to chug out the cars that they need. And then you look in August, it went back up to 831, still very good numbers. We don't have September, but at 7,267, are we going to break it? That's hard to know. Let's go and do a formula here. So if I go and add up all the sales here, and I divide that by 8 months, and then I do the 12-month. So that's about 10,000 units. So if we continue this momentum, it is possible that we will go over 10,000 units in Canada for the NX. And this is the first time ever they'll get that. 2022 was already a record-breaking year for the NX. I think this year we may see that again. And then when we look at the RX, wow. All first 8 months was actually record-breaking. And if we do the same formula, we're looking at 12,000 units. So best year for 2021 was 10,000 units. We're looking at 12,000. Hopefully that will be the case. The GX, we've already seen the record-breaking already. The past 5 years, 514 is already the best year. It did very well in the first 6 months, and it's starting to trail down. LX is the same. It did very well March, April, May, June, July. August, they were short from the record by 6 units. But 732 is already record-breaking until 2019. So are we going to break it? That's going to be a little bit tough now when you look at it. 4 months. 4 months to get over 1,053. It's doable, but it needs 100 units per month in order to really get there. And again, the RZ highlighted in yellow because I have all the numbers except the RZ. So I just took the number of sales that were reported by Toyota Canada and just took the difference. So not too bad. 525 units projected, and I think that's quite good. And then when you look at the overall sales, January to August were record-breaking for the past 5 years here. And September, 2,578, short from the 2,941 in September 2021. But when you look at this number, 24,000 and 25,900, I think October, we are going to have a record sales year, right? If they sell 2,000 more, we're talking about 26,000 already, and projecting 32,000 units. And I think this is probably possible. Going over 30,000 is already a win for Lexus Canada. All right, so now I'm going to go down and just look at the NX. And if you look at it, it's actually a very, very good year for the NX, because really the first 8 months, when you look at these numbers, they've never sold that many vehicles for the NX. So 831 did very well. 654, again, didn't beat last year's nor 2020, but still close enough. But other than that, they broke all the records across for 2023. So 7,264 with really 4 months of numbers I don't have yet. So I think that is possible. When you look at it, this could be about 3,000 units, over 10,000 units. And since NX was actually launched, we've never seen that. And we're so close to the record for the NX in the other years, except last year. And I think with that push, we will see 10,000 units for the NX in Canada for 2023. All right, so now let's move to the US. All right, so we moved over to the Toyota Motor North America press release on the sales of Q3 and September. So it's a big month usually. By the end of the quarter, they will release more numbers. So we can see here, year-to-date electrified sales, including battery, fuel cell, hybrid, and plug-in hybrids, is 455,142, and that's up about 28%. 26 electrified vehicles available, and they're saying that the RX plug-in hybrid is available in the showrooms, and the TX is now available. On the hybrid is on sale actually this week, and the 4th generation Tacoma is on sale in December. So there's more hope for more sales. So I'm going to skip here a lot because we'll be looking at some of these numbers in the spreadsheet. But I'm going to go and look at the highlights for Lexus here. So the Lexus here, it says electrified sales is up 84%. And the ratio is 28.7%. Year-to-date electrified vehicles ratio is 27.9. The IS September sales is up 12.9%. Utility vehicles are up 28.6%, and year-to-date it's up almost 20%. The UX June sales are up 36.8%, and year-to-date is 19.4%. So I think there's a typo here. This is not June. This should be September. And the NX September sales are up 64.8%, and year-to-date is 63.3%. RX is up 8.9%, and the year-to-date is 4%. LX is 404%, and year-to-date is 94.7%. So the best ever. So they've sold the most vehicles in September, the most SUVs, the most electrified vehicles, the most IS 500s, the most NX hybrids, the most NX plug-in hybrids, the total NX for September, the RX hybrids, the RX plug-in hybrids, and the RZ. So RZ is the first year, so it's always the most. But then when you look here, best ever year-to-date sales. So total electrified vehicles, they sold more than that. The IS 500 has been sold more. The NX hybrid has been sold more. The plug-in hybrid, they sold more. They sold more NXs. They sold more RX hybrids. They sold more RX plug-in hybrids. Again, they just start selling them. And the RZ, same thing. So I would eliminate the plug-in hybrid out of the RX and the RZ because there's really no reference here. All right, so this is the information that we have, and you can see that there's breakdown of the ISRC, and they have this month of September and also the year-to-date numbers. Unfortunately, they do not break them down by even models, but you get the point here. So they also show you the hybrids, the BEVs, the plug-in hybrids, and all that. And I took all that information for Lexus and plugged it into the spreadsheet so that we can review that. So overall, when you look at it, they've sold 6,486 BZ4Xs, and with the RZ, that's 2,511. So if you look at the BEVs, that's about almost very close to 9,000 units. So they'll be doing more than 10,000 BEVs, but overall still seems a little bit low, but you know the strategy here. And they also sold 3,000 plug-in hybrids for the RAV4, and you compare that to 476 in the NX 450h Plus. So there seems to be more demand for the RAV4 Prime over the NX plug-in hybrid. It is what it is. we will see how that all goes. All right, so here we have the US sales. So when you look at the UX 826 for September, not very close, not going to be winning any records here. But when you look over to the IS 1888, woo, it actually broke the 5-year record here. But I think projecting at 22,000, I think IS can actually still make it. ES, bad in Canada, same thing in the US, 28,000, it's really dying there. Projecting at 38,000 at this point. LS, 1,728, not breaking any records really. 2,300, the lowest of the 5 years. LC, if we look at it, 1331 at this point, no record-breaking months at all. 1775, better than 2022, better than all these years, but not at the rate of 2021. So I think it's a winner for LC already. RC, extreme low volume in Canada, looking at here, also low volume, 1700, lowest of the 5 years. All right, RZ, 2,511, not too bad overall. I think they're projecting at 3,500, not bad for a first year car. All right, going back up, NX. So July, August, we did not break any records, but September, we broke it again. 6,131, now at 51,000, more than 2022 already. Still far from the previous years, but at a projection of 68,000, not too bad. RX, 9,666. We got 9,405, didn't break the record, but right now we're at 83,000, looking at getting about over 100,000, so not record-breaking RX, but close enough. Maybe they can stretch it, we don't know. GX, September was a good month, broke the record again, 21,492. I think the new GX is coming very shortly, and 28,000 seems to be a bit low, not at the 32,000 that we're looking at. And then when we look at the LX has been really doing very well in the US. Since February, it's been record-breaking every month, with 731 in September, 5,274, projecting at 7,000, seems to be doing extremely well there. And then when we look at the total record number here, September, best September in the past 5 years, 224,309, seems to be okay, but when you look at a projection of 29,979, I think they can do a little bit better and break it over the 300,000 record. So September was a good month. December to remember probably will hopefully push this forward. Hopefully we'll see that. And then when we look at the NX overall for September, 6,131 has broken the record ever since NX has been released. So you can see it's actually there. And when you look at it, if we are projecting at a 68,000, we've never seen 68,000 in the record of the NX. So it is highly possible we will see a record-breaking year for the NX. The most NX sold is going to be 2023. And now because they've released the quarterly numbers, we can also see that the plug-in hybrid, July, August, they sold 1,029 compared to the year before, 802. So 200 more units. September, they've also released 200 more units as well. So we're seeing a bigger increase of the plug-in hybrids. So you can see they've sold more plug-in hybrids this year than the total of last year already. So 3 more months, we will probably see over 4,000, even more units. So people waiting for their NX 450h Plus, I think it's coming. It's coming. And then when you look at the hybrids, hybrids are also very hard to get as well. And then when you look at the numbers, there is some promising numbers here. June, 1,650, better than the previous 2 years. July, August total, 2,995, better than the past 2 years as well. September, 2,088, 1 month, and that seems to be double. So we are going to be seeing better numbers for the hybrids and the plug-in hybrids. So it's really good news for the folks in the US. If you're waiting for your car, it's highly possible that it's coming. So when you look at it, 12,360 for the first 9 months compared to 13,873 for the year, they're going to be selling more. Hopefully that you found that this video was informative, and if you are still waiting for your NX or the RX or any Lexus vehicle, hopefully they will arrive your doorsteps quickly and soon. And until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.